Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Luke and here on this channel I talk about fragrances, mainly focusing on vintage, designer and affordable scents, as well as some niche from time to time. But in this video I want to review one of my absolute favorite Sophia Groisman fragrances. Sophia Groisman was the perfumer behind it, and if you know your vintage fragrances, you know who Sophia Groisman is. She's a Russian lady. I think she's from Belarus, and she came to New York back in the 60s or the 70s, and she started creating beautiful floral fragrances. She's one of the most famous perfumers of all time, I think, and she's created so many masterpieces, and this fragrance is one of them, even though it's not the most popular or appreciated nowadays. Not a lot of people talk about this one, and not a lot of people own it. So it's not like Trésor from Lancôme, which is very popular, but this one is also very special. This is called SpellBound, and it's from Estée Lauder. It was released back in 1991. It used to come in a different bottle. Now it comes in this rectangular bottle. It's still available, and it's classified as a spicy floral amber fragrance. I would classify it as a spicy floral oriental or a floriental, but it's also really, really spicy, and it has a very strong tuberose note, which isn't listed in the note breakdown for the newer formula, but I can definitely smell it. So in my opinion, this has a lot of tuberose, and the tuberose in this fragrance is oily. It's potent, it's sweet, it's a beautiful tuberose. You have to love those vintage style, almost waxy, almost decaying, almost indolic white flowers to appreciate this one. So the tuberose, I would say, is oily, it's sensual, narcotic, and even slightly animalic. This fragrance is very heavy, it's rich, it's spicy, it's an absolute bomb of a scent. It packs a punch. Still, to this day, it packs a punch, despite being reformulated. It's a very loud fragrance. It's over the top, but it's also elegant and sophisticated if applied with a light hand. If you overspray this one, I would say it can get quite vulgar, in my opinion. Even though it was released in the 90s, to me, this is an 80s style fragrance in the same family as Dior Poison, as Vanderbilt, from Gloria Vanderbilt, which was also created by Sophia Groisman. It's also in the same family as Chloe Narcisse, which is another discontinued fragrance from the 90s. That one is also a white floral carnation bomb. And let's talk about the notes some more. I can really pick up on the tuberose, on the apricot, and it also has a lot of carnation. This is a tuberose bomb, yes, but it's also a spicy carnation bomb. You have to like carnation. And when this dries down, it becomes very sweet, vanillic, powdery, soft, but I can still smell the carnation and the flowers. And I have to say, it really has the Groisman DNA. It smells like a Sophia Groisman fragrance. If you know Sophia Groisman fragrances, you'll recognize this one, but it has a very strong punch in the opening. That carnation is so potent, and so is the tuberose, and the fruitiness and the sweetness. It's an overdose of everything. This fragrance is really an overdose of everything, and so many reviews find it too much of everything. But I really, really love it, because I really love tuberose, I love sweet fragrances, I love carnation, I love vanilla, I love animalic notes. So if you want a concoction that smells a little bit like everything, but also like nothing at the same time, this one might be for you. And it's a spicy floral concoction. It's spellbinding, a bit mysterious, voluptuous. I also find it really sexy. I think it's such a sexy fragrance because of that indolic vibe. in the middle notes, the florals are very narcotic, almost indolic, almost decaying. And when you get the civet in the base, which is also not listed in the note breakdown of the newer version, but for some reason, I can smell the civet. I can really, sniff out the civet in any fragrance that has civet, because I know how civet smells. I have a small bottle of the actual extract, so I know how civet smells. And for some reason, I can smell the civet in this fragrance, but it only adds a slight animalic touch. It's not too animalic. It's nothing like, say, Paloma Picasso or Bala Versailles or Passion by Elizabeth Taylor. It's not overly animalic. It has a slight animalic vibe in the base. But the star of the show in this fragrance, I would say, is the tuberose, followed by the carnation, and then maybe the apricot and the powdery notes, the vanilla, and some other spices. It's such a complex fragrance that it's really hard to pick out individual notes. But the overall vibe it gives me is similar to the vibe that Poison gives me, or Vanderbilt from Gloria Vanderbilt, which has similar notes, and Vanderbilt and this fragrance are actually quite similar. But Vanderbilt, to my nose, in the newer formulation, smells quite cheap. That's why I don't own it. But this one, to my nose, smells expensive. And it comes in this stunning rectangular bottle. The box is very sturdy. You also get a nice note inside the box. So I think this line of fragrances, this line of classics from Estée Lauder, is actually pretty good, and they're quite affordable. You can get them online anywhere from, I want to say, 40 to 60 euros per bottle, obviously depending on the fragrance. Cinnabar, which I also reviewed on this channel, also from this line, is usually a bit more expensive than SpellBound, but I found this bottle for, I want to say, 45 euros. So it was a good deal. I really hope they won't discontinue it anytime soon, but if they do, I'll definitely pick up a backup bottle, because I really love this fragrance. To me, it's almost like Poison on steroids. I always say it's Poison on steroids because it's stronger than Poison. It's stronger than the current formula of Poison. And even though it doesn't smell exactly like Poison, it's still a spicy white floral with an oriental base, amber, vanilla, civet, spices. It's a rich fragrance. It's opulent. I absolutely love it. I could talk about it for an hour, but I won't. The only other thing that I want to tell you is that it's a good performer. It has good sillage, good projection, and good longevity. It lasts about 12 hours on my skin, and I can smell it on my clothes for days. I have to be in the mood for it. It's very strong. It fills a room. I made the mistake of wearing it around my mum, and she really, really hated it. But keep in mind that she hates most of my fragrances. So just because she's my mum and I'm respectful, I don't overspray these fragrances if I go somewhere with her, especially if we travel by car. But if other people dislike my fragrances, I'll tell you what I do. I spray twice or even 3 times as much. Obviously, I'm joking, but I really think you have to wear fragrances for yourself in the first place and no one else. Of course, we like a nice compliment, who doesn't? But if you wear fragrances for other people, that means that you're a people pleaser, and that means that you're not living your life the way you want to just because you want to please other people. And I'm not someone who does that. I really think you should put yourself first and listen to your wishes and desires. And if you want to wear a vintage fragrance that everybody hates, well, wear it. Life's too short to worry about what others might think or might not think, or trying to please others. Okay, that was a bit of a rant. My apologies. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments what you think about SpellBound. Do you even know this fragrance? Because not many people seem to know about it, and I don't think anyone really is talking about it on YouTube. So give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment down below. It really helps my channel. Thanks for watching again. Have a nice rest of the week. Bye bye.